Charlie, you are the reporter here at the table and on this story. What is the latest on this special master?
So we're still waiting for Judge Cannon to make a decision. It's actually pretty notable that she appears not to be rushing into this even now. She seems to be letting the Labor Day weekend roll. She has not stopped the Justice Department from continuing, and the Office Director of National Intelligence from continuing to work with these documents in the interim. And so that's slowing everything. That's not slowing everything down, and she very well could have done so. And so that's a sort of win for the Justice Department in the interim here. And in the meantime, she ordered out, with the assent of the Trump legal team, this more detailed inventory of what the FBI had found. And from that, we learned much more about what documents marked as top secret were in Trump's office. We learned about dozens of empty folders the FBI found that had once contained classified documents. And we learned that even though we've been talking primarily about documents marked as classified, they also recovered more than 11,000 government-owned documents and photographs that Donald Trump did not own and that belonged at the National Archives.
And, the thing that jumped out at me is the empty folders. Am I wrong, and are people wrong to think, oh, my God, this is a big, big deal?
Well, that's an unanswered question, and I'm sure that is one of the ones that the investigators are also trying to figure out. It could be as simple as Donald Trump took those classified documents out of those folders, and they were earlier turned over to the National Archives in those boxes, those 15 boxes from January, or they were among the set that were handed over to the Justice Department in June when it subpoenaed for all documents marked as classified, in which case there are none missing. Or it could be that there are still some missing. And from the outside looking in, we just cannot know what to make of that fact.
And one more thing. Yesterday, during his rally, Donald Trump complained about how the FBI ransacked his 16-year-old son's room, Barron's room, and basically saying that this was something unfair and something that they did that they shouldn't have done. But that's not the case.
Well, in terms of what they should have done, they had court authorization to look at all the personal residence sections of Mar-a-Lago for documents that were marked as classified that should have been turned over in June in response to the May subpoena for all documents marked as classified. Trump's representatives told the Justice Department there were none left at Mar-a-Lago. The FBI developed evidence that that was a lie, and the search proved that it was so. But given that there was evidence of concealing these documents, they would not necessarily know where the boxes had been taken. They had to look everywhere. I think that was the idea behind the judge approving all residential parts of Mar-a-Lago being looked through. All
residential parts, not guest rooms. They made it very clear. Maya, so you are the lawyer here. How much legal trouble is Donald Trump in, and his associates?
Well, he's certainly should be very concerned, and I think we're seeing with the very fact that he's made this wild motion for a special master to go through the documents as an example of the fact that they know that they are in trouble. I mean, look, you've got an FBI that was able to show enough evidence, that's what probable cause is, enough evidence that documents were taken that shouldn't have been taken, that there may have been concealment and obstruction of the investigation around those documents, even that they may have been transmitted, concealed, destroyed. Remember, the National Archives found that some evidence that some had been shredded, apparently, torn. I mean, these are significant, and particularly when you see not just the Presidential Records Act, which in and of itself it can be a criminal violation, but actually the FBI talking about obstruction and the Espionage Act. These are significant criminal charges. They each stand on their own. And so far, just by virtue of what Donald Trump and his legal team are doing as a defense strategy, are making sure that the public is seeing just how vast the number of documents are that he's taken and just how potentially serious in terms of endangering our national defense, which is what the Espionage Act covers. I mean, Charlie is absolutely right in saying we don't know the substance of all these documents, but we do know the designations of documents that were recovered that were not initially turned over and that included some of the most sensitive secrets this country has. And by the way, there's an executive order, a presidential executive order, that says you can't just put your hand on a document and pray it unclassified. There's actually a process you have to go through. And there is no evidence, and nor did his lawyers assert in court any evidence that he actually declassified these documents.